Hi, this is Argentina, and welcome to another interview with experts. Today, I am very excited to introduce you Christy Hall. Christy Hall is the founder of Michael Christie, which is a medical spa in Tucson, Arizona. She is a board-certified physician assistant who owns and operates a world-class medical aesthetic patients in Tucson, Arizona. I met Christy very recently, and I got so fascinated when speaking to her because she specializes in non-surgical facial rejuvenation. And I am all about taking care of ourselves from the inside out. And of course, that includes our face. She is so knowledgeable. She has her own brand of beauty products. Beside that, you can actually sign up in her website. And she's actually sending me a kit. In this interview, she talked about, what we can do about fine lines, what we can do about dry skin, aging spots, what is it, like sagging skin, and how to just age gracefully. I think this is the first thing that can make any woman feel good about herself, looking her best at her age. So I really, invite you to stay with us in this interview. It's a little bit long, it's about 30 minutes, but we just kept talking, and you're going to find so much information about how to treat your skin, and see if you are using the right products. What can you do, in order to, for example, eliminate wrinkles, improve your skin texture, how to eliminate your spots, sunspots in your face. What can you do about sagging skin, droopy eyes, or frowning, lines? And she's going to be mentioning, the exact treatment, so you can go to a local spa, or you can just treat yourself to a trip to Tucson, Arizona, and work with Christy personally to give you just a whole refreshment of your face, of your looks. I think, since in 2020, I will be turning 2020, I will be turning 50. I might treat myself to a trip to Tucson, Arizona, just to give me a nice, freshen up and look my best, in my 50s, start my 50s, feeling really good with my face. So, at the end of the interview, I had a glitch with my software, and the last 5 minutes did not get recorded. So I will just finish it up for you at the end. But I hope you enjoy it. Talk to you really soon. Bye. Yeah, it's gonna be very very informal, and I just want to make sure that I'm recording. Let's see. Yes, it's recording. Okay. All right.
Are you going to edit it?
Yes, of course. So you're gonna blip.
Okay.
I'll edit that. Don't worry about that.
Wow.
That's a nice thing about not going live as well. So,
yeah, cool.
So, okay. So here we go. So, hi, Christy, welcome. And I'm just so excited to have you. All my audience is just been waiting for you to tell us more about skincare. So why don't you tell us first a little bit about who you are, your company, what you do, and let's get started with that.
Great. Well, thank you so much for having me, Argentina. I'm excited to talk with you and your audience about everything. So I'm Christy Hall. I'm a board certified physician assistant. I've practiced aesthetic medicine and cosmetic dermatology for over 16 years now.
Wow.
And I've owned my own medical practice in Tucson called Skin Appeal for the last, 7 years. Wow, time flies. Now. And about 6 years ago, I also created a skincare product line called Michael Christie. Michael at that time was my partner. He has since retired, so now I've taken over the company. And in the last year, we've rebranded that product line quite significantly. So that's me.
Awesome. Okay, so you're in Tucson, Arizona.
Yes.
And okay, so what I'm anxious to know is learn more about skincare because we get so bombarded from everywhere, and everybody that puts their products in front of us, they tell us they're the best. So let's demystify all that.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are. But if they are, I want to know why. So,
Absolutely.
how do you know what kind of skincare products work?
That's a great question. And this is where I think most people have gotten really misguided. And it's really my passion, like you have a passion. My passion is to educate people, women, in particular, on really what the skin needs. And it goes back to understanding the functioning of the skin. So I like to kind of teach it from that standpoint, because if you know what the skin needs, then you know what to feed it, as far as your skincare products go. So Big Beauty Marketing has done a really fantastic job telling everyone you need tons of moisturizer. Well, really healthy skin produces its own moisture, and that's really the purpose of skincare, is to make your skin function better. So if you think of like a child's skin, they really never need moisturizer, right?
Right.
Their skin is beautiful, it's smooth, there's no pores, there's no wrinkles, there's no acne. And why is that? It's because they're young and it's functioning well. And so as we get older, things happen. Our hormones start to kick in. We start to get, the cellular turnover on the outer surface of the skin starts to slow down. So then we get this kind of dead cell buildup, or we get clogged pores. And so all of these things start to kind of dysfunction. Collagen starts to break down and actually disintegrates. If you're over age 30, we're in danger of that.
Yeah.
And so skincare, it should be about restoring those functions back to the skin. So I always say, there's basic needs. Of course, we need to cleanse our skin. We need to stimulate collagen production. We need to increase natural exfoliation, which is not a scrubby thing. That's a product that's going to turn it over like it did when you're a child. And then we need to protect from the sun and other environmental damage. So when we look at skincare products, that's really what we're looking at, is to make the skin work better.
So that would be your basic routine, the minimum,
Yes.
Okay.
And it can be very simplistic. Skincare does not have to be complex. So, I talk about ingredients. So I like for people to understand, what ingredients are you putting on the skin? Just like when you eat your food, you're thinking about, it's a carbohydrate, it's a protein, it's a, there's ingredients in your skincare products that are feeding your skin these nutrients as well. So, most of us rules. So collagen production is a big one that we talk about. So how do we produce collagen? What are the ingredients that are going to get into the skin and actually sink down to the deep layer, which is your dermis, and really make that collagen grow? So we know, based on science, that there are certain ingredients that are really good at this. And those are like peptides, growth factors, vitamin A in the form of retinoic acid, and vitamin C tend to be the really big, potent ones that we can use quite significantly. We also know that certain ingredients make your cells turn over faster. So that's your body's natural exfoliation process. When you start turning those cells over faster, your body will actually start to produce, your skin will start to produce its own moisture again. When we have those kind of thick layer of dead skin cells on the surface, your natural oils that are being produced deeper down into the skin can't penetrate through that deep layer to hydrate the skin surface. So we start to look dry or dull, or we start to get clogged pores because of that. So we want to kind of turn that over, so we're getting that really natural moisture production. So we have that bright, radiant skin. So those are like, again, retinoic acid. So you can kind of see how we're making this really simplistic. And then your alpha hydroxy acids and beta hydroxy acids, which are your salicylic acid, lactic acid, glycolic acid. So really simple skincare can be wash your face in the morning, put your sunblock on, and then wash your face in the evening and use your vitamin A in the form of retinoic acid. I prefer retinaldehyde instead of a prescription retinoid because it tends to be more gentle on the skin. It converts to retinoic acid after it enters the skin, so we don't get as much irritation.
Wow. Okay.
That can be very simple.
Yeah, it can be very simple. So, okay. So for us women after a certain age, and my followers are pretty much 40 and up, Let's go through your recommendations for certain things that we start to see as we get older. Let's start. How do you treat, for example, dark circles?
So this is where understanding what the aging process is again. So we have skin surface changes where we start to see discolorations from sun damage, redness, brown spots, fine lines, large pores. Then we have the collagen disintegration, which starts to create a little bit of a sag in the skin. Some of the deeper lines start to form, but really the major change is underneath the skin. Mm-hmm. And that's from bone, fat, and muscle loss. Underneath the eyes, when we're young, we have fat pads everywhere. And when we start to get older, we still have the upper fat pad, and then we lose the hollow underneath it, and then we have fullness again. So it's really a valley that creates that dark shadow. Mm. So you can't fix that problem. You can't fix under eye bags or under eye circles with a skincare product because it's not a skin problem. Mm. So you can treat it with lasers, you can treat it, with all the creams in the world, but it's never going to go away because it's a valley. So how do you fix the valley? You got to put filler in it.
I do fillers. I'm not going to lie, because I started to see that. And they told me fillers, and it's really amazing because they told me it's, you just lose the muscle. It's gone. Yep. No product is going to fix it. Okay. Exactly. Fillers. All right.
And filler's great, because I have a face full of filler, but if it's done naturally, it looks great. And it lasts so long underneath your eyes. 2, 3, 4 years easily, which is great. So
I think I only do touch-ups like once a year. It's really amazing.
Exactly. That's all you need once you get where you like to.
Yeah. And they're not, because at the beginning it could be a huge investment because it's the first time that you do it, but because they last so long, and then it's a maintenance, I think is for our self-esteem, our face is the thing that we look the most, and I think it's where we should pay more attention to look nice. Yeah. I think avoiding the sun and having a good regimen of moisturizers and retinol and all that is great, and definitely when it's necessary, investing in fillers, definitely.
It's hard to, you can, of course, we all want beautiful, radiant skin, but when the sag starts to happen from the under the skin, bone, fat, and muscle loss, at this point in time, we don't really have a way of correcting that without getting underneath the skin with fillers. There's some skin tightening treatments that you can do, like radio frequency and ultrasound, Exilus thermage, therapy, but they can only do just a little bit of tightening, whereas you can really contour the face and lift the face with the filler. So I like to kind of approach it both ways. We all need beautiful skin, but we all want to look refreshed as well.
Yeah, of course. Okay. So let's talk about wrinkles. What works best for wrinkles?
Depends on where your wrinkles are, what kind of wrinkles are bothering you. Are they little fine lines, or are they deep folds? Right.
Well, I don't have a lot of wrinkles thanks to Botox, I have to say. But definitely, before I started to have to use Botox, it was definitely my crow's feet and my forehead.
So that's a great question. So again, it kind of depends on what is the wrinkle caused by. So those kind of wrinkles are, contributed to the muscle movement underneath the skin. So I'm all Botox, so I have to do it with my fingers as well. But, when our skull starts to shrink, as we lose the muscle and the bone underneath, the skull is actually shrinking. So then what happens? The skin becomes loose, right? Mm-hmm. And so when you start to make expressions like crunching the eyes together or smiling, then the skin starts to crease on itself. And because we're older, and the collagen has started to break down as well, the creases start to stay there. So it's kind of a two-step process. We want to kind of stop the movement, with Botox is a great way of doing that. We can also firm the collagen back up with some lasers, some skin tightening treatments, maybe some resurfacing type treatments like Halo laser I love, or Neogen plasma resurfacing I love as well. But also you got to rebuild that collagen and keep that collagen healthy. Like that's what I was talking about, feeding the skin what it needs on a daily basis. So your skincare should have the peptides in it, should have the vitamin A in it, should have the vitamin C in it. And notice I've never said moisturizer one time.
Yeah.
Because moisturizer doesn't anti-age the skin.
Right.
Moisturizers are like putting a Band-Aid on a problem, not fixing the problem.
Okay.
So of course sometimes you like the feel of a moisturizer, or, you may, when we go through climate change, like dry heat, you feel like
Hmm.
you need extra moisture, but it is not a mainstay of normal skincare. If your skin's really healthy, you really shouldn't need much moisturizer.
Okay, yeah, I totally agree. So, and it also would have to do a lot with what type of skin type you have, right? So, does it matter what kind of skin type, we have?
That's another marketing thing. We all have the same skin. Everyone's skin has the same basic needs. Like I talked about, we need to cleanse it, we need to stimulate collagen, we need to exfoliate it, and we need to protect it. So everyone can use the same ingredients to do those same things.
Mm.
If you have a condition like acne on top, then sometimes we just are a little bit more aggressive with killing the acne bacteria on the skin, or maybe doing a little extra exfoliation process on the skin. So there's certain conditions, but it doesn't really matter what skin type you are, oily, dry, normal. Our goal is to get everyone's skin functioning the same. Again, children don't have skin types,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Skin types develop as we get older because of other things, like our hormones throw, if we have acne prone skin or whatever.
Mhm.
So you don't really need to know your skin type. We just need to make sure that we're hitting those same basic needs for everyone.
Oh, okay. That's interesting because sometimes, with the marketing that is out there, products specifically for dry skin or for oily skin, and
Yeah.
so it really we shouldn't approach it from that point of view.
You don't have to. I mean, as
Mhm.
long as you're hitting those same things, I mean, you'll really, whether you're oily or dry, your skin will start to normalize.
Mhm.
And if you're doing the right product.
Once you put the right food in the
Yes. Hmm.
absolutely. So what I notice is that as I'm getting older, I'm developing dark spots,
Hmm.
brown spots,
Right.
and I see some of my girlfriends. I just had a reunion with my college friends, and we're in our close to early 50s, and a lot of them
Well, you
they
look
have.
beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you.
I never put you that
Thank
age.
you.
Yeah.
So I am noticing that a lot of them have these brown spots. Can we do anything about them, or how can you treat them or avoid them?
Great question. So the brown spots, there's two types of brown spots. We have one that's hormonally driven called melasma, and
Hmm.
then we have one that's just sun damage. So brown spots, freckles from the sun are really easy to treat. It's any time you're trying to treat brown spots with skincare, it's a slow process, but you can do it with the right ingredients. So there's certain ingredients that are like skin lighteners on the skin. So number one, we need to protect from getting more sun damage. So we need to wear sun protection that has zinc oxide in it every day. And can you still see me?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
So we need to wear sun protection every day with zinc oxide. Zinc oxide acts like a mirror that bounces it off the skin. So if you're just doing SPF and it doesn't have zinc or titanium, then it's really not that effective. So really
Hmm.
looking for a good sunblock to not get more sun damage. And then we want to start lightening those brown spots. So there's a lot of skin lighteners. The prescription strength version is called hydroquinone. That would be the fastest way of doing it. Hydroquinone is illegal in some countries because it can, if it's not well maintained, it can actually make you worse.
Mm.
But we use a lot of plant-based ones. So vitamin C is a great skin lightener, kojic acid, arbutin, sonji mushroom extract. There's a lot of different plant-based skin lighteners that are kind of precursors to the hydroquinone. And in a lot of our serums, we put all of them in there,
Yeah.
try and lighten up the skin. Like I have melasma, and mine's well controlled with just the plant-based ones. If you want kind of a fast improvement, with brown spots, you might want to do a laser type treatment. An
Hmm.
IPL or a BBL photofacial are great to do to kind of blend that out, or micropen microneedling, or, a light chemical peel. Those are kind of quick ways to get rid of brown spots. And those are really great for your skin. I mean, doing something a little bit more aggressive than just your daily skincare 2 to 4 times a year is very healthy for your skin.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard of that APL, and yes, I have a brown spot right here that
Yeah.
killing me. So
Come on out to Tucson. I'll take care of you.
yes, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna get myself in a plane and go visit you and get that whole, whole day of just fix my skin, make it better.
Yeah, we'll do a day of beauty.
Yeah, day of beauty. So how about sagging skin? I mean, I noticed that this desk that I have right here, where I have my computer, is actually a mirror. And when I'm like leaning down to clean it, I see everything. Oh my God, my skin is like, boom, right? Gravity takes over. What can we do about that?
And then now we look at our cell phones. I see that same thing. I'm like,
right there.
Yeah. So again, the sagging skin is a combination of the collagen loss in the skin, so keeping the skin super firm with the right skincare ingredients. So definitely your vitamin A. And your sun protection to prevent collagen breakdown, rebuilding the collagen with lasers or skin tightening things. But the main thing is the bone loss. And so going underneath the skin and, really we need to lift further back in the face. So lifting back here to kind of lift things back up. So fillers are your friend.
Fillers, all right, yeah, that's why they have been putting fillers on me this way, yeah, and it did improve, but I think I need a little bit more.
Yeah, and you can always doing that in combination. Anytime you start combining treatments, you're always going to get more effect. So do like an RF microneedling treatment that's going to tighten your skin or something like that has no downtime. That'll really kind of enhance the results and make your skin healthier as well.
Oh, okay. I never done that one. So, okay.
Yeah, make sure it's the radio frequency.
Radio frequency.
Like, the one I like is Vivace. Scarlett's another great one. There's several different brands out there, but it's a little needle device that goes in and then it delivers electromagnetic waves into the skin.
I've seen the videos.
There's no downtime, but it really stimulates and tightens the skin really beautifully.
Okay, wonderful. How about looking tired as we get older? Is it like natural, normal?
Yes. Again, it's kind of the fall of the face from the bone loss, so when we look at the whole skull, I mean, really everything is shrinking. So your eyebrows drop down because you lose bone here. You lose the fat and the bone in the temple area. So it makes your eyes kind of droop downward here. So now we have droopy eyelids and now we have down-turning eyes. We've lost this, our cheek kind of falls down the face. So we're going down here, then we're losing the bone and everything's coming down. So our mouth kind of turns down. So rebuilding that structure underneath the skin is the name of the game with, kind of not looking as tired. And that's where your fillers come into play to kind of rebuild and lift everything back up. And that's why you and I age gracefully.
Gracefully. When people tell me, oh my God, you look so good. How did you do it? It's like, well, first of all, I never had kids. So I always had my 8 hours of sleep.
Yes.
I'm not in the sun. I eat well. I don't drink. I don't smoke. And I'm happy. And I put a lot of money into this face too. So it's not, I don't don't feel bad, girls. After, sometimes I see moms, they're like,
the quickest fix for the tired look is, get a good injector and have even if you just do some cheek lifting. I mean, it's really pretty. It's instant gratification. It lasts over 2 years. It's fun.
Would that include eliminating the resting bitch face?
Yes.
I get that a lot in the studio when I'm taking pictures and I try to do the sexy look and then they look at them and say like, oh my God, that's my resting bitch face. But it's because it's sagging right here.
So you just need to put filler right at the corner of the mouth to kind of lift the corners through there so that you're supporting this area, and then a little bit of lifting in the cheek area will make a big difference with that.
Yeah. I mean, you look absolutely great. I mean, I can see it looks so natural, and that's what I want, to look natural, because I do know this esthetician that she does fillers and Botox. And one time I came to just visit her, and there was this lady next to her, and said like, oh my God, is this your sister? And she told me, no, we're not even the same race. She's Mexican, I'm white. She just put the Botox into her clients in such a similar way. Everybody started looking like her.
like
Yeah.
all
Oh
like
my
lifted.
God.
And it's like, okay, that was not that. I'm so glad because she had offered, oh, I can do your Botox. It's like, okay, sure, I'll do it. It's just across the
Yeah.
street. And after that, it's like, okay, I'm not doing the Botox. I don't want to live, end up like that. It
Well,
looks,
I think that's a very valid point is, finding a practitioner that does injectables in a style that you like. And
right.
I think, I talk a lot about that in my book, and I really I like to have a natural look for myself. And, and some people like to look done, just like some people like blue or purple hair,
That's
or
true.
tattoos over their whole body. It's just kind of their self-expression. But I find that most people, especially our age group, don't want to look like they've had work done. They just want to look better.
Yeah.
But now the 20 somethings are a different story. They want to look like they've had work done.
Yeah.
So it's a very generational thing. But so each person needs to kind of figure out what's going to make them happy. And and having weird peaked brows is not a natural look. If you like that, then sure.
Right.
But it's just like her technique of doing Botox. You just might need to find someone else that does it differently.
Right. Yeah, I think like everything, you had to you look at people's style. Like a photographer, you had to look for their
Yes.
style. Same thing for your
Exactly.
esthetician or doctor. So how do you treat acne? I sometimes still get women that come to my studio in their 40s, 50s, and they have acne.
Yeah. So acne is, more of a systemic issue than just the skin. So we really have to look at, from the inside out with that. So, of course, there are certain products that we want to put on the skin. And for acne, we usually go a little bit stronger because their skin's usually a little tougher because it has more oil production in it. So with that, I definitely use lactic acid, glycolic acid. We have these really great swipes that are loaded with essential oils that actually kind of help kill the acne bacteria on the skin, but also have lactic acid and glycolic that kind of turn over the cells faster. And then we need a little bit more potent vitamin A on the skin. So with that one, we use our Vital A serum, or sometimes we use our Vital A boosting cream, which is a little bit more potent vitamin A, or you can do a prescription retinoid for that as well. So that's kind of the mainstay, is turning those cells over faster and controlling the acne bacteria on the surface of the skin. But really, acne is caused by an overproduction of oil inside the body. And that is stimulated mostly from our hormones, particularly the male hormones. So we get that increase in those kind of androgens, which are male hormones in the body, mostly from our diet. So I tell women to really cut out dairy products completely. Dairy is kind of a known cause of increasing oil production in the body, mucus production in the lungs for asthma patients. So kind of cutting out dairy is the number one, but also looking at kind of the if you eat animal products, looking at whether those animals were fed hormones, because if they're fed hormones to make them grow, then you're consuming them, and then that's going to translate into your skin as well. So really kind of cutting back on animal products, or at least making sure you're doing organic, non-hormone fed animals, because that's just going to translate into your skin. But I find with good skincare and cutting out dairy, that tends to help a lot of people.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. That's one type of clients that I get. And then the other one type of clients that I get when, and this is my makeup artist tells me this, she puts a base of moisturizer before applying the makeup, and they quite often she makes a comment that she had to put like 3-4 layers of moisturizer before applying the makeup because her skin was so dry. Why is that? What is she doing wrong? And how can somebody like that, get help or fix it?
So again, the dry skin is just the outer layer is too thick. So we have the epidermis on the surface, we have the dermis deep down. The epidermis is, when you're young, it's really thin, and the dermis is really thick. When you get old, it reverses. We got thick epidermis, then dermis. We want to revert that back. So it's about making that natural exfoliation process happen daily. So getting the vitamin A on the skin, the retinoic acid, retinaldehyde, doing your alpha hydroxy acids like glycolic acid, lactic acid, those kind of things on a daily basis to start turning those cells over. What that does is it lines up the cells in the epidermis so that then they can produce their own moisturizers again. So there's something called natural moisturizing factor, and there's also hyaluronic acid that's produced by the skin when it's in its healthiest state. So it's all about getting that those cells turning over faster so we don't have that dead, thick layer of skin. Because then, you're kind of coating on moisturizers to make it look normal, make it feel normal, but that's just like putting a Band-Aid on a problem and not fixing the problem.
Right. Okay. Oh, that's great. And I think a lot of people are going to benefit from this, from all this, because I'm sure there's people that, I had dark skin, or that dark spots, or dry skin.
I think we all have this, and the reason that I went into this is because when I hit 30, my skin was terrible.
Really?
And I was mad.
Wow.
Yeah, because I thought I had done everything right, and I'd even gone to a dermatologist and everything, and it was just like brown spots everywhere, wrinkles forming, dry skin, eczema, and I was like, what the heck is happening here?
Yeah.
And it's because I didn't know what I was doing, and so until I went into this field, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Doing it all wrong.
Yeah, and I'm 47 now. My skin looks better than it did when I was 30.
Yeah, my skin looks better also than it was in my 30s. I still didn't know better not to be in the sun, and that's how I developed all those dark spots.
Yeah.
So in a nutshell, what would be the basis to age gracefully?
So I always say, to work on all the levels, so if you really want to look your best, and, it depends on kind of what kind of budget you want to invest in this, but your daily skincare is always a must. So at least get the, the retinaldehyde, vitamin A on the skin, and your sun protection on the skin every day. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, really simple skincare can kind of go a long ways with that. And then, boosting up your skin maybe at least once a year, or 2 to 3 or 4 times a year with a treatment. Maybe do something like a chemical peel, or a IPL photofacial, or a BBL, or even something more aggressive. It just kind of depends on what kind of budget you want to invest. So hitting it every day is kind of like brushing your teeth every day with your skincare. Going a little bit more aggressive. You can do facials if you want, but facials are never going to make a tremendous change in the skin. I tell my patients, if you can't afford to do that and do lasers or chemical peels, then that's great. But if you can't afford to do the good skincare and do at least one treatment, then just cut the facials out, because they're not going to make a tremendous change on your skin, whereas the other two are going to make way more impact. And then, as we age, usually around your late 20s, early 30s, we start to see the sag happening. So starting to do a little bit of filler earlier in life, a few little tweaks here and there can kind of keep you from falling as we get older.
Yeah, I think prevention is the best, that you can do instead of trying to fix it. I mean, I have my a friend that she's gorgeous, but she's white, blonde, and she's 50, 51, and you can see she's like, why I can't have your skin? Look at me, I'm all saggy. Obviously, she's never done any type of fillers, any type of Botox. She's in the sun all the time. So I assume that for her to actually recover from that would be major work, and for a long time.
It's very doable, and we can make very dramatic changes, with, it can take 15 years off someone in a day. It may be a little bit of an investment, but it's definitely doable. But, avoiding the sun does rapidly age you.
Yes.
That's an easy thing to do. And then we also, have to think about the inside of our body. We need to eat healthy, drink enough water. Our skin is 65% water. We need to make sure we're hydrating it from the inside, And, you and I were talking about, we're doing our detox right now.
Yeah, the detox.
So doing that once or twice a year is really good for your skin as well, So there's kind of all those 4 layers that we look at. aging gracefully.
Yeah, and I know that a lot of women are running dehydrated all the time because I get
Hmm.
massages all the time, and my masseuse tells me, of all my clients, you are the one with the best skin. Do you drink a lot of water? Like, yeah. I barely
Yeah.
used any lotion on you. Whereas I have
Right.
clients that I go through so much lotion because they're so dry, and I assume it's because they're dehydrated, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, awesome. So tell us more about your business. If somebody wanted to actually work with you, fly to Tucson, what do you
Great.
have to offer?
Well, we have our skincare products online. So, michaelchristie.com, which is MIKELKRISTI, .com is where you can get the skincare products. We have our core collection, which kind of gives you all of your basic needs. You have your cleanser in it, you have your toners, and then all three powerhouse collagen stimulators because we all want that. So you
Yes.
get your vitamin C, your vitamin A, your peptides. And our products really work quite beautifully for the skin, and they last a long time. So it may be an investment, but you'll get a good 3 or 4 months out of the product, which is really nice. And then if, for the aesthetic stuff, my practice is called Skin Appeal in Tucson. You can go to myskinappeal.com and look me up there. But I'm one of the top injectors in the United States. I train physicians nationally and internationally. So I'm
Mhm.
very, very experienced in that. I'm in the top 1% of all the injectors in the United States. And Real Self, I was voted a couple of years ago in the top 25 most loved injectors in the United States. So
Ooh,
that's kind of nice little gift.
yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I do everything. We do body contouring. I do all kind of lasers. I've done lasers for 20 years.
Hmm.
That's kind of was my base before I got into Botox and fillers. But I just love the art of it. I mean, I love making women feel better about themselves.
Right.
Men too. Men are definitely coming into this
Hmm.
field more and more so as we move along with this becoming more popular.
Hmm.
So I'm happy to help anyone with what they need.
Yeah. I'm.
Okay, this is what I thought that my system when I was recording this interview failed, and you couldn't hear the last 2 3 minutes of the conversation. But we really were wrapping up this conversation. I really hope you have enjoyed it, and go to Christie's website, michaelchristie.com, and check out her products. She is sending me, a kit, and I'm going to be using it. And then I want to actually do a video and tell you how I like them. But the last thing that I just mentioned when we were wrapping up our interview, it was all about how I believe that women have the right to take care of their bodies any way they want to. I am not against, um, you know, procedures for your face or your body, because it's not different than taking your car to get washed, change the oil, or if you get into an accident and you damage your car. Why wouldn't you go and fix it, repair the door or the paint, everything that's broken, and replace it? It's no different than your body. Our bodies are our vehicles that take us around life. Why wouldn't you repair it so that it can continue serving you in the best way? It's no different that having knee surgery, to continue having a good lifestyle. So if you feel that you want to, get Botox or injections or lasers or tummy tuck or breast enhancement, absolutely do it for you, um, to feel good about yourself. It's the reason why you do things, and to do it for you and to feel good about yourself is absolutely a great reason. Don't do it, to trap a man or to be liked or accepted or not be criticized or be just like your girlfriends and belong. Do it for you because that's what you want. So I really hope you enjoyed this interview, and I look forward seeing you in the next one. Goodbye.